Today we will be discussing about how to connect frontend and backend. In this tutorial, we will be using React.js as frontend and Node.js as backend. If you are not familiar with React.js and Node.js, then they are best libraries of JavaScript for developing full stack website. In this tutorial, no CSS will be used because I want to make code more cleaner. As you can see, the final project look like this, where I am sending request to backend and backend is responding to frontend. Hello everyone, welcome to Code and Tech. Let's get started. At first you need to download Node from the website. As you can go in the web browser and just search for Node.js download. And from the official website you can download Node.js by clicking over here. After downloading, you have to manage the environment variable from the environment variables, and here you have to set environment variable, and inside it you have to add a new path. By selecting the path, you can just write new. You have to write the node c program files node.js. After this setup, you are ready to get started. You have to open Visual Studio Code for editing. You can have anything, but I prefer Visual Studio. I'll just clear the screen first, and then I will go to, I have no folders over here, so I will create a folder name front and again and back. Front is for frontend and back is for backend. Let's jump into front folder, and we should write for creating React app is that the code npm create vit void @latest. After you have created a void project, you have to write the name of the project, but I have to make project on this particular folder. I will choose dot for that, and we should choose React and with plain JavaScript. Now we have to run npm install for installing React. While it being installed, let's create a new terminal. Inside this, I will be going to backend folder, first CLS and cd back, and now I have to run npm install. You have to first install node 1, but I have already installed node 1 globally, so for you have to install node 1 2, and I have already installed, so I will not install. npm install course and express, enter. So our front-end development has been completed. So let's run our application. By simple writing npm run dev in our terminal, let's press enter and just open the link in the browser by just copying over here and then pasting over here. Now this is our project. First of all, clear our code lists. I will go to the source folder and I will clear app.css because we don't need any CSS. Delete, and index.css is also not necessary. And inside this I have to in remove index.css, and from app.js I have to remove everything. Okay, now app is cleaner, but you can see the error because it is not returning anything. Now we'll just return a div, and inside it I will write header tag backend to frontend. You can see in this div I will just show you how you can send request from backend to frontend, send data from backend to frontend. Inside this I will just create a button, get members. I will also add function while clicking on the button. On click handle get members, and I will just create a state for the members, const members set members, use state of an array of string. And now we have to declare function const handle get members, and inside the function first we have to install XCS on our front end part. Okay, for that I will close the server by clicking just ctrl plus C and write command npm install XCS for installing XCS. XCS is a package which makes data flow from frontend to backend easily. We can also use fetch, but XCS is much easier. And now I will again start the server of frontend as it reloads back into frontend. Yeah. Now I will call XCS. First I will create a server on the back. Let's create a index.js, and inside this I will create a server const express require express const course require course. Now I will create server, name server by just writing const server is equal to express and parenthesis. Now our server has been created, named server. Now I will listen to the port 8000 server dot listen, port number will be 8000 for now. You can write anything you want, and I will write callback function after it has start listening the server. I will just write console log listening at port 8000. 8000. I will also use JSON format for our data communication. So I will just write server dot use express dot JSON. First I will just run a server, and then on that server I will just create a path. Let's say server dot get path, which will get as the entry path of the browser, and inside this I will just have a request and I will just have a response, and inside this I will just send a response as members to the front end, because it is a get member button. So I will in response send a array of members. Okay, let's create a array of members inside our server side. I will write A, B, C, D. For demo I will just write A, B, C, D. If server, inside the server it request is this, then in response I will just send as server response dot JSON as an object. I have to send data members. The data will be members. Okay, let's start our server. CLS cd node mon index.js. By running this, our server will start listening, and then after going to localhost 8000 you can see the response. Okay, after this has been clicked, we have to make that response in our front end. Axios, and inside the Axios I will just go to this and copy it, the URL, and then just go, and the request will be dot get. I have to get the members. That then after getting the response, I will just set members as response dot data. First of all, let's see what's the response. Console.log response.data. Yeah. And if error, then we have to catch the error. Catch error. I'll just console the error. Let's save the changes and go to our front end part. Let's open the console tab over here and just get members. As you can see, Axios is not defined as the error. First we should define the Axios. Import Axios from Axios. After this we can go over here. After refreshing, get members. As you can see, blocked by course policy, because our server is front-end server is running at localhost 5173 port, but the backend server is running at localhost 8000. So by default the accessibility will be blocked by course policy. So we have to use course as empty. After by setting this, you can see over here we are getting the data. Inside the data we have another data, and we have the required data. Let's console this data and data. What we get? You can see the members, and I will just replace this by set members. Okay, and I will also map through the members whenever there will be data. Members dot map mem, which will be taking as a parameter, and in return I will just write div inside that I will be writing in s3 tag the imem, and also it requires key, so I will be giving the key of mem. And then when I go over here, I refresh the page. After getting members, I can see the members. You can see over here. What we have done now is that we have sent request to our backend by just telling that axios.get the item from the localhost this, and when we get the response, we set the members as response.data.data, and the response is given by over here from the server. And what we have to do if we have to send data to backend, for that let's create another button, form, let's create a form. Inside form I will be giving input as text, which will be members, and then I will create a submit button. Input type submit button, and for this members I will just create a new variable, name input mem, and set input mem, use state as string, and whenever this changes I will just set input mem as e.target. First of all we have to define e. What is e? E is the event which we get from the event listener. e.target.value, and whenever the submit is clicked I will just take an event e, and just I by default prevent the default refreshing of the page from the submit type button, prevent default. And also I will just create a new function for sending the data of the input member to the backend. Handle submit will be the function name, and just copied, and just call the function whenever on click. And let's define the function over here, const handle submit. Inside this I will just call axios, and through axios I will send the data to backend. Inside this function axios dot post will be the middleware for this request, and I will just copy the URL for posting, and I have to send the data as over here by simple writing data as input mem, Then after I will get response, and after I get the response, I will just console the response. And then we should catch the always error. I will console the error if we get an error. And I have not defined from server side get post method. I have already defined get method, so we are able to use get method over here. We should also define post method over here in the server side. Server should able to be get or post. If any post request in the site, we have request and then response, and we will just console dot log request dot data. I can just write request dot data over here, const received equals to request dot data. I will just console dot log received. So let's see what we get, and let's save over here too. When I write ABC and submit, no changes over here, and by pressing Control plus backtick key, you can see nothing is over here. The reason why nothing is over here, we have to write body, not data over here, requested body. And after I submit, you can see data over here. We have successfully sent data from front end to back end. Now I have to send response to the front end again after it has been successfully updated. Now let's make our members to get joined dot. I will just push the members as received dot data, and I will just console log. I will just write response dot JSON data is equal to members. If it has been successfully updated, I will just send the members by updating the members by pushing the data updated member. Let's save the change and go to this front end side, and then I will just write, if I get the response, I will just okay, I will not do anything. Let's save the changes and then just come here. ABC will be the request. I get an array. You can see over here inside the data, it is dot data, and I submit. Then I can see ABC is the exact match over here. Let's set our members as our updated data, and let's see what we get. A B C D E F will be data, and after I get, we have successfully get the members. And again, if I refresh, you can see over here we have also updated in our server side too. This is how you can connect front-end and back-end using React.js and Node.js respectively. If you like the video, then please subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.